All right, we're back with Miss Christine Quarterman. How are you again, sister?
Just wonderful, just wonderful. It
That's
just
great.
does me joy to talk about what I know about Triumph Church.
Amen. Right here in little old
Yes,
Fort Pierce, Florida, huh?
yes.
Were you born and raised
I
here?
was born and raised right here.
She is a
Okay,
historian, y'all.
yes.
She knows the history of Fort Pierce,
That's what
Florida.
they say. That's what everybody say. They say I know everybody. I don't know about everybody, but I know quite a few people. But
All right.
anyway, yes. And in our church family at that time, we had the Pelts, we had the Dawsons, we had the Osborns. They were elderly. They didn't have any children. They were raising two nieces of theirs. We had a shepherd after Elder Murray came from Miami. He was Reverend R.L. Williams. He could play a piano. His wife was sick, but he was a faithful member, and they were faithful with us till she passed. Then he married again, and the next wife came. She was a very loving lady, and they didn't have any children. He ended up being the state superintendent of this great state and district, which was 5th District South. We had quite a few churches at that time. Then what happened in late 50s, we decided that the church was too small. When I began coming to church, I remember seeing the um, blueprint of the new church.
Mm-hmm.
It was on the west wall of the old church. And it stayed there so long until it lost ink. But we could go there and look and see what the new church was going to be. And it wasn't too far. We were on 21st and it was on 19th. My father had passed. He was the head. Um, we didn't call them deacons in our church. We called them supporters and managers. He was the head supporter. My mother started doing the job while he was sick. But after my father died, she inherited that job. And she became the head supporter of the church. Well, mother was blessed anyway. And what she did, she bought the property. And she converted the church to a apartment building. And she left the parsonage as a single family home. But that money helped us to move on 19th and Avenue D, where we are now.
Okay.
On 19th and D. And we had a lot of work. We had to do a lot of things. We had to sell pineapples, candied apples, potato pies, fish sandwiches. We did all those things. Because not only were we trying to get in the church, but we were trying to go to different conventions too. So we had to solicit on the weekends. We solicited while they sold the sandwiches and the pies and stuff. And we would be soliciting on Avenue D from 12th Street down to 13th Street and on back. And we said, please help me on our church. We'd either have a 10-cent gleaner or a quarter gleaner. And that's how we got there. And that's how we got to most of our state conventions. Because we worked. The children in the church, we worked to get there. Just didn't get there on your own. You had to work and get that money. Okay? But then we got there on 19th and then I want you to know that I was 10 years old, but I had to help the manager. She had new garbage cans, big garbage can. We would make lemonade because in Triumph Church we didn't drink coffee, tea, and sodas. So we made lemonade. put ice in the bucket, and we had a dipper, and we had the fan, the flies, and the mosquitoes off the men while they were working. And I was one of them to help do all of that, okay? I didn't just come and sit down. I've been working in the church all my life. Even when I was with my godmother, Deacon Pickens and Miss Odessa Pickens, I would help them at Reverend Burr's church because my godmother would sell the fish sandwiches and stuff over there. So I had to work and go to church whether I was with my godparents or with my own parents. And it was a good thing. It was a good thing. And I'm so glad that I had that life. And it has brought me many good things in my life. And I tell you, God is good. He is so good. I came to the Lord at age 10. I had never seen that. But our pastor at that time was from Palm Beach. And his wife had a brother. And he had a tent. And his wife could play the piano. And they had a young girl about my age. And that young lady had the Holy Ghost. And I saw her dancing under the power of God and speaking in tongues. That caused me to seek the Lord because I had never seen that before. As a child, I had never seen a child like that. And she seemed to be happy. And that really did something to me. And I sought the Lord after she left. And the Lord blessed me in July 20th, 1960. I received the baptism of the Holy Ghost in Perry, Florida. The church down by the railroad track. In Perry, Florida. One of the oldest churches in Florida. Because the people that we knew, a lot of them came from Perry and around and came on down to South Florida. And that was a wonderful, wonderful experience. I tell you, we had beautiful windows in that church. We had those stained glass windows. And I tell you, we're waiting, working now. And hopefully, before too long, we'll be able to get those stained glass windows in that church again. It's the only church on this side of town that had stained glass windows. And to be a sanctified church too, that was something to say. Something to see. Yes, it was. Yes, yes, yes. Okay.
What was the sister name? That I have the son that played the piano at your church.
Oh, Elder Jamie Pelt Wright.
Oh, okay.
When she became the shepherd, she had no musician.
Mm.
And she said she was praying to God and asking him what he was going to do for her. And she said the Lord told her everything she needed was right there in the church.
Mm-hmm.
And her son, his wife bought him a keyboard. And I think he started on the drums. And he got the keyboard. And now he's one of our main musicians. And the Lord is blessing him now with some keys and stuff now that we haven't heard him do. I tell you that Brother Lord is really doing it. He is really doing it. The Lord is blessing him. He is really blessing him. And Elder Wright's mother, Mother Ruby Pelt, was the shepherd mother for quite some time. She was a staunch member of the church. Her family, all her children, she raised them in Triumph Church. She had one son, the oldest son, his name was Timothy. And now he lives in Rockledge, I believe. And they just buried one of their sisters. And now I think instead of 11 or 12, it's 10 of them now.
That's-
9 in the family.
That's
9
not
in
the
family.
family of the guy that's married to Larissa, is it? Did we talk about the Pelt boy?
No one talking about LaShonda Mitchell. You talking about a Pelt?
Pelt.
That's Mother Wright is his mother's sister. The young man that you know.
Oh, okay.
Uh-huh.
One married Doris's daughter, Larissa.
Yes.
Oh, okay. So that is that family. Okay.
That is that same family. His mother was the oldest girl in that family.
Oh, okay.
And she ended up going to New York. And she was the oldest girl in that family. We called her Debo.
Okay.
But her name was Deborah. We would say Deborah now. But we call her Debo.
Oh, okay. Wow.
Yes, yes.
What's that dude's name?
Uh-huh. Debo and Opera and Timothy were the first three in that family. They were all together when they came here from Alabama. Prince Darcy, he was Prince Darcy later, but when he came, he was just Reverend Darcy. And his wife had a sister. Her name was Ethel Dudley. Sister Dudley had 3 children, 2 girls and a boy.
Mm.
1 boy and 2 girls. And all of us were friends. All of us were friends. And we had another family, the Ray family. They had girls and boys. And I tell you, they were so lovely. I tell you, when we met them, we all got along pretty well. We really did. And now some of them are still in the church. Especially Lulu, she's there. And her sister Bertha was here until she left to go back to Rochester. No, not Rochester. She went back to Buffalo. Because she'd been there for over 50 years. And she went back to Buffalo to see about her children. And looked like the enemy came and he's tried to destroy her life several times. But God still has her still with us. And she can write a call and she asked for me. Sister, she tell her sister, I want to speak to my sister. How she doing? She's talking about me. So we call each other sister.
That's
I tell you,
great.
God is good. God
Tell me
is good.
something. There's a friend of mine, and we were just having the concert at your church, and she said they came in and they said, "All hail," and she thought they was cussing. That's one of y'all sayings. Greetings for the Triumph Church. Talk about that.
We say all hail, and most people think that we're saying all Hell, but that is not what we say. We say all Hail.
Okay.
That is the greeting that Jesus gave his disciples when he came.
Right.
And he asked them, did they have any meat? And he had fish for them to eat. And all hail means all is well. And the response to it is likewise. So when we come to our meetings, our services, most time the person will say, all hail, and the other people will respond, likewise.
Right. That's awesome.
Then when we, all is well, all is well.
Amen.
All is well. And I tell you, many people have mistaken that.
I had never heard it before.
Many people have mistaken it down through the years. But now I understand it. Because now when you grow up with it, you already know what it means and you know what it said and why, because it's engraved into you. They teach you that, it's indoctrinated into you, okay?
Right.
So that church has been there since back in the 50s. Back in, say, 1957, 58, we were there. We didn't have all the fineries like we have now. We just had benches. We didn't have any carpet and stuff, but we had the fine wood on the walls. The wall had fine wood, and it didn't have just little stripes. It had like the wood was like some kind of press, and you could take your nail across it, and you could feel it. And our altar built with that wood, and it did have pillars and have covers for the altar because we are like AME. Most AME churches have altars because they do come to the altar most Sundays and pray. And that's the way we were. We came from the history of our church is from AME. Our bishop
okay.
was AME. And he had a different experience. And that's how he got into Triumph because he had we would say, a different experience and getting higher in the Lord. He had a more personal experience with God, and that's how he got this church. We first was not named Triumph. It was called Triumph the Holy Church. But then as time has changed, then it became Triumph the Church and Kingdom of God in Christ. We can't say all that. That's just too long. So we just used it Triumph. And a lot of people couldn't say Triumph. They just say Tramp.
The Tramp Church.
The Tramp Church. Because a lot of us, a lot of the people at that time were going up on the season. Because that's what kind of town this was. Fort Pierce was a seasonal town. And so in the summertime, most was gone. You didn't have anybody in church because everybody was on the season. They gone to Alabama, Georgia, South Carolina, Virginia, New York. That's why so many people have ended up in Rochester and places like that because they went up on the season and they found good jobs.
Picking fruits and stuff?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
They found good jobs, some of them with the people that did the cameras that you could take pictures, Polaroid.
Mm-hmm.
They found jobs at places like that up around New York and New Jersey.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm. Yes. And the season they got farms up in New Jersey, and they have farming in Maryland, farms in Virginia. So people just they liked it really good, so they went to those other places. But Triumph has been there, right there on 19th and Avenue D, and we're so glad to be there. And we're trying to get it back in cold because it was a beautiful church. It was a beautiful church, and I'm telling you, we want to get it back to where it was because it had beautiful inside and out. And we really wanted to get that way again. Okay?
Amen.
And I thank
Well, I'll
God.
tell you what. For those that are listening, we having an event right there at the Triumph Church to help raise money. It's entitled Cold Enforcement. The People Had a Mind to Work. We'll be there May 13th in concert. The Faith Walk-In promotional tours will have its first debut right there at the Triumph Church. We'll be there May 28th, starting at 6 p.m. May 13th will start at 7 p.m. And then June 10th, we are blessed to have the Triumph Church again for a benefit concert for Habitat for Humanity. I am so grateful that you all are reaching out and being willing to bless the community to use the facility. And we're going to have us a grand time in the Lord.
Yes.
Amen. We did our first one on April the 2nd this year, and it's been an awesome experience.
Yes,
So
it was.
thank you so much for your time and space here. Is there anything you want to leave with the listening audience, however the Lord led on your heart?
I just wanted to say to all of you, keep us in your prayers. Prayers of the righteous availeth much. And you don't have to say a lot of words. Just whatever you say, just let it be real.
Amen.
And God will hear you, and He will do what needs to be done, and we will be blessed. Okay? God bless you, and I love you.
Amen.
God bless you.
God bless.
Mm-hmm.